Yo, 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 what's going on, SportzMafia fans? Guys, we're back. Here we go. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? All right. Well, guys, it's free agency signing. We're going to go ahead. We're going to hop right into it. We're going to talk about the free agency. We're going to talk about where Aaron Rodgers is going to go. We're going to talk about pretty much everybody in the league right now, because this is a pretty big trend right now at the very moment. There's a lot of teams out there, man, that are doing some really, really, really big moves, that are adding a lot of power, a lot of guys, a lot of talented guys to their roster, which I'm excited for this football season, man. I'm really excited to finally see what Detroit is going to do. For so long, I mean, it's just annoying because I know that Detroit is going to figure out a way how to screw it up. So, all right, guys, well, let's hop right into it. We're going to start with the AFC East, and then we're going to go all the way down. We're going to start at the AFC East, and we're going to go to AFC North, AFC South, AFC West, the NFC East, then the NFC North, NFC South, NFC West, guys. So let's hurry up and let's stop right into it. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills was a very, very talented team last year coming in after the Damar Hamlin injury. That was a really, 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 really rough injury for, I believe, everybody to watch, including myself. It was gut-wrenching to watch that game and to see him get hurt. He's better now. He's healthy. He's alive. He's not dead. Everybody stop saying that, oh, he's dead. Oh, he never had that tattoo. That tattoo was fresh. Stop. Stop saying Damar Hamlin's dead. He's not. He's alive. He's walking. He's talking. Will he be able to play again? Who knows? Doctors say that he is able to play again. But we'll see what happens. I think that Damar should, take a job, possibly coaching young kids, helping them out. I don't think Damar should play in the NFL anymore, but look, guys, that's just my opinion. So, guys, let's hop right into Buffalo. QB Kyle Allen signed with the Buffalo Bills earlier this week. Damian Harrison signed a one-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. Wide receiver Dante Hardy signs a 2-year deal worth $13.5 million with a $9 million base salary and a $5 million guarantee for 2 years. It's pretty good for a tight end. We got wide receiver Trent Sheffield, signed a 1-year contract. I don't know what Sheffield's going to do over there. I feel like that they should have signed Isaiah McKenzie again. I think that McKenzie was fitting into Buffalo's scheme better than most of the wide receivers that are there. OG, that means offensive guard, not, original gangster. Connor McGovern signs a 3-year, $23 million contract. David Queensberry re-signed by Buffalo. It's a good re-sign. Tyler Matchovich, that's a good re-signing right there for a 2-year deal. He revoids after 1 year. Then we got Matt Milano. He signed for a 2-year extension through 2026. His contract was through 2024. I think this was a good contract extension for them. Matt is an explosive guy. He plays really, really well on and off the ball. I think this is a really good re-sign for Buffalo. Then we got we got Dane Jackson. He re-signed another 1-year deal, cornerback. And then Jordan Poirier signs a 2-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, man, it's a really good signing, man. I would hate to really see him go. I felt like he played really, really good. I think he had the best year, was last year with the Buffalo Bills, the best year of his career. It's a really, really, honestly, like a really good signing. And then no one really minds about the punter, but Sam Martin, they re-signed him for a 3-year deal, up to about $7.5 million. He's getting about 4.1 guaranteed on that contract. Now, this was a pretty big talk team coming in to the 2023-2024 year to see what the Miami Dolphins were going to do. After Tua, had so many of those concussions, they had to find a quarterback. They've lost 2 or 3 quarterbacks last year. They were playing with their fourth string. Their fourth string quarterback goes down too. And it was just a hard season for Miami, man. They finished pretty low. They had a really good signing with Tyreek Hill coming in. But Miami signed quarterback Mike White. They signed a 2-year deal with him. Running back Myles Gaskin re-signed with the Dolphins. That's a really good re-sign. They also re-signed Raheem Mostert for a 2-year deal, $5.6 million, worth $2.2 guaranteed. That's a really, really good signing. Mostert was a very explosive back for them. They also re-signed running back Jeff Wilson. They re-signed him for a 2-year deal, $6 million. That includes a $2.6 million guarantee for Wilson. I feel like that these 3 running backs, man, it was a really, really, really good re-signing for Miami. It just goes to show that, guys, running backs are not it anymore. They're not guaranteed to get max contracts anymore. This is a pass first league. It's not like how it was when the Chicago Bears had Walter Payton and they won the Super Bowl based off of their run game. No other team has done that. Every other team has won based off of passing the ball. The Bears were the only ones that got there based off of their run game. So I think that we're not going to see any more max contracts for running backs anymore. I think what we're going to start seeing here is all max contracts due to the wide receiver role now. If you look at, Tyreek Hill, you look at Stephon Diggs, you look at Devontae Adams, you look at Deebo Samuels. They all got max contracts, and they have changed the game for the wide receiver contracts, man. They are starting it off hot. Same with Terry McLaurin. Man, it was just a really, really crazy year last year for all these wide receivers, and now they're honestly going to be having to split the bar up. So I'm pretty much excited to see what Justin Jefferson is going to do with that wide receiver come up here pretty soon. Speaking of wide receivers, man, Braxton Burris, they signed a 1-year deal for $3.5 million, worth $3 million guarantee. That's a really, really sketchy signing for me for Braxton for a 3.5 for 1 year, man. I'm seeing most of these wide receivers, they're getting paid anywhere between like for a 1-year deal is, I think it was roughly about $2 million. But 1 year, 3.5. Sure, man, whatever you guys think that this guy is worth, to me, he's not worth the 3.5. I feel like that he's more worth on the 1-year deal for the $2.44 million is what a couple of them have gotten. They also, they signed tight end Eric Subert for a 1-year deal. They got center and offensive guard Danny Freeney for a 1-year deal. They got edge rusher Mackay Reed, signed with the Dolphins. David Long signed a 2-year deal worth $11 million. Then you got Duke Riley. He re-signed with the Dolphins as well. Then you got cornerback Nick Needham, who re-signed a 1-year deal that is just worth a little bit over $2 million. Then you got Jalen Ramsey, man. They acquired this trade through the Los Angeles Rams in exchange for a 2023 third-round pick. That means that they're going to get the number 77th overall pick, along with Hunter Henry is now over there at St. Louis. I feel like that, Ramsey is a top 5, for sure. Ramsey is 100% top 5 cornerback. You can't take that away from him. But to be completely 100% honest with you, I don't think Ramsey is in his prime at the moment right now. So is he worth a third-round pick? I think he's worth a little bit more than a third-round pick, but they got Hunter Long in the trade right there. So, look, man, Jalen Ramsey, fantastic trade, man. He's over there. He's going to be playing with Xavier Howard, and he's also going to be playing with that young safety that's in the backfield. The Dolphins signed Deshaun Elliott. They also signed another punter, Jake Bailey. Let's move over to New England. New England signs James Robinson to a 2-year deal worth $8 million. I think that's a really, really, really good pickup by New England. The next one, I have to 100% disagree. This dancing clown, Juju Smith-Schuster, they signed for a 3-year, $25.5 million worth $33 million with incentives. He will receive $16 million guaranteed. What? What? You're going to sign Juju Smith-Schuster to a $25.5 million deal for 3 years. He's not worth it. Juju Smith-Schuster is not worth it. The dancing clown is not worth $25.5 million. Maybe if you want to make like a TikTok video or a YouTube video or something like that with him, then that's fine. But he's not worth $25 million to be playing in the NFL. No. Give him 3 years, $10 million. Not 25. That's ridiculous. Guarantee that Juju Smith-Schuster does not get 1,000 yards and he does not get over 7 touchdowns. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. He's too busy dancing in the locker room. He's too busy dancing in the middle of the field on people's emblems. No, he's not doing it. Juju Smith-Schuster is not doing it. I'll tell you what is really a good pickup. Mike Gesicki signed with the New England Patriots. 1 year, $4.5 million. It is worth $3.55 million. That is guaranteed. His max is $9 million with incentives. That is a fantastic signing on Mike's part. The Patriots, I guess, I like Mike Gesicki, don't get me wrong. I really do like Mike Gesicki. But the Patriots just signed a $9 million contract, that includes incentives, for Mike Gesicki, who isn't really consistent on the field. I mean, he's consistent in some ways by getting 3 or 4 receptions for 55 yards, but he hardly ever scores. He hardly ever moves. I mean, 4 receptions for 55 yards. I mean, they're leaving him wide open every single time. So that's 10 yards, pretty much a carry right there. Maybe 13 yards a carry, which isn't bad, but this right here, $4.5 million deal, that's a little crazy. Then they signed offensive guard James Frensnit. They signed him to a 1-year deal. That includes a $200,000 guarantee. Like what? You're giving me a 1-year deal for $200,000? What? $200,000. This is the lowest I've seen on a re-signing. Calvin Anderson gets signed to a 2-year deal. Riley Reif gets signed to a 1-year deal worth $5 million. Defensive tackle Daniel Eckley re-signs with the Patriots. Linebacker Chris Boards re-signs with the Patriots, 2-year deal, $6.5 million. Raekwon McMillan re-signs for a 1-year deal, $1.6 million. That's a really good one. Mac Wilson re-signs, $2.2. Jonathan Jones signs a 2-year deal worth $20 million. He's getting a $13 million guarantee. Jonathan Jones. Jabari Parker re-signs for a 2-year, $9 million deal. That is worth $11 million in incentives. Again, these players are coming out on top with these incentives. And then they got long snapper Joe Carden. They re-signed him for a 4-year deal, $6.3 million. He's getting $6.7 million with incentives included. Let's move to the Jets. This is a crazy, crazy team right now. And guys, we're going to start just doing the main guys, like the big contract guys. They signed Allen Lazard for a 4-year, $44 million. The crazy part is about all of this is that Aaron Rodgers made a wish list. The wish list instead stated that he wanted Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, Mercedes Lewis. You got Allen Lazard, 4 years, $44 million. Let's hurry up and speed this trade up a little bit. I am waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make his final decision. Then he also comes out and says that I'm 90% in the dark about retiring. Now I am 10% ready to play. That doesn't really make any sense to me. How are you 90% into retirement, but 10% you want to stay? It's either you stay or you go. There's no, oh yeah, I'm going to sit here and wait for everyone to go ahead and make their plays, and then I'm going to make my decision after the Jets sign all of my people, and then I'm just going to go, oh, sorry guys, I'm retiring. Like, what? Bro, it's either you want to play or you don't want to play. Stop making all of these damn assumptions of, oh, Here's my wish list. Get my writer note. Here we go. Play it out. It's not how it goes. Quincy Williams, linebacker, re-signs for a 3-year, $18 million max, $21 million in incentives. That's insane. These incentives are ridiculous. These players are coming out on top. And then they acquired Chuck Clark from the trade from from Baltimore in exchange for a 2024 seventh round pick. That's not really worth the trade, I guess. But hey, you get a body, so that's all that matters. AFC North, Lamar Jackson's still sitting out there. Woo! How does it feel not having a wow. I don't even know where to start with this, actually. Lamar, how does it feel to not have an agent help you with your contracts, to help you with this negotiation? You have a non-exclusive franchise tag now. 3,200 yards passing. I get what everyone's saying, yo. I get what everyone is saying. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Lamar has ran for 1,000 yards. Name me one quarterback that has ran and won a Super Bowl. I'm not talking about scrambling. I'm talking about running. No, not one. Not one. Look what happened last one. Hurts didn't do it with his legs. I'll tell you what, though, Patrick Mahomes did it with his arm. Just goes to show that a running quarterback is not going to run a dynasty and take you to Super Bowls. It is a fact. It is a known fact. Again, name me one quarterback that has won by running with their legs in the Super Bowl. You can't. You can't. There's not one. Lamar Jackson has a very powerful arm. Don't get me wrong. He really has a really powerful arm. But the problem is this with Lamar. He runs first instead of thinking to pass. Oh, but he had nobody to throw to. Go look at all his other receivers and tell me he didn't have anyone to throw to. Mark Andrews. That's one. Marquise Hollywood Brown. That's two. And a bunch of others that he had. I mean, you can't tell me that Lamar Jackson isn't going to have anybody to throw to at Baltimore now. He's still not going to have anybody to throw to at Baltimore. So why do I want to sign him for a $200 million contract? Lamar Jackson is not worth $200 million, guys. He's not. He's not worth even $133 million. To me, Lamar Jackson is worth $80 million for 3 years. Prove to me that you can throw the damn ball, and then after that's all over, then I'll sign you to your max contract. But at this very moment, Lamar Jackson should not get more than $100 million to play, and it shouldn't be for more than 3 years. He's not worth the money. Oh, but he won an MVP. I don't care about him winning an MVP. You know what I care about? I care about asses in the stands, I care about Super Bowls, and I care about winning. Unfortunately, Lamar, you haven't done one of those. You've been hurt. Why? Because you run the ball. Stop running. Just stop running. It's ridiculous. Let's go on down to Cincinnati. The Bengals re-sign Orlando Brown. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. The Cincinnati Bengals sign for 4 years, $64.092 million. They signed Orlando Brown. Yep. Man, this Cincinnati offensive line is going to keep getting scarier and scarier and scarier. You want to know why? Because they have Cody Ford. They signed a 1-year deal. Then they have Max Sharpening, where he just re-signed for a 1-year deal. Guys, this is big for them. $30 million signing bonus for Orlando Brown. This is crazy. They are literally going to have the most powerful offensive line in the game just because they signed Orlando Brown. Just because they signed Orlando. That's the only reason why they're going to be a top performing team. And it's because they signed Orlando Brown. 100%. That's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns signed Joshua Dobbs. 1-year deal, $2 million. It's not bad. $2 million. It's not bad. Mike Ford signs with the Browns. Matthew Adams signs with the Browns. The really good signing that I really like, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, but I'm going to shoot my shot anyways, is Ojibo. Ojibo Orkaronkono. We're just going to call him Oronk. Okay? Oronk. That's his name. Oronk. Oronk agrees to a 3-year, $19 million deal with a max value of $22 million. Oronk will receive $12.5 million of that guaranteed. Man, Oronk is going to kill it this year with that signing, man. I'm very excited to watch. Maybe I should try his name one more time. Okoronkwo. Whoa. Nope, not even going to try that one. Oh, man. Well, guys, the Steelers are signing offensive linemen. They're signing them. Nate Herbig signed a 2-year deal worth $8 million, $4 million guaranteed. They signed Isaac Sulamo to a 3-year, $24 million deal. They're ready to go. Patrick Peterson is now over there for a 2-year deal for $14 million. That includes $5.8 million guaranteed. Patrick Peterson's not worth it, but that's okay. If you think that Patrick Peterson is worth it, then that's fine as well. I don't see Patrick Peterson being even irrelevant on a team right now besides either a third string or just a guy that just sits down and just kind of help coaches these other corners. I feel like that Patrick Peterson is kind of past his prime at the moment, but hey, anything could happen this year for him, and he might come out just swinging. So the Houston Texans signed Devin Singletary from Buffalo for a 1-year deal, $3.75 million. He is, in fact, going to be right there behind. I think that he's going to be really fitting into this. Case Keenum signs a 2-year, $6.6 million deal. Mike Boone re-signs with the Texans. Noah Brown, wide receiver, signs a 1-year deal, $2.6 million. He's guaranteed $3.1 million after the incentives. Then I'm looking at Robert Woods. He signs a 2-year deal, $15.25 million. That includes a $10 million fully guaranteed max value of $17 million. That is huge. This is a really, really, really good pickup by the Texans. There's actually 2 or 3 of them. And this is what I kind of want to talk about here. Dalton Schultz signs a 1-year, $9.5 million deal with the Houston Texans. That's crazy. Shaq Mason was in a trade requirement from the Buffalo Bills. Or I'm so sorry, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Shaq Mason is now on the team. And this signing right here, Jamie Ward signs with the Titans. I'm sorry, with the Texans. Signs with them. That's insane. That's insane. They got Jimmy Ward. Gunnar Minshew is now on the Colts. Isaiah McKenzie is now a Colts. That's a really good signing right there. Isaiah McKenzie, and having Gunnar Minshew, he signs a full 1-year, $3.5 million deal that has a max value at 5.5 with the incentives included. That's a really good signing by the Colts. I really like that. Hopefully that Gunnar Minshew can actually get a start here coming his way pretty soon. I think that Gunnar Minshew is better than most of the quarterbacks. I think he's better than Baker. I think he is better than Davis Mills. I think he's better than Trey Lance, even though we haven't really seen Trey Lance. But again, Trey Lance is... Why did Trey Lance get hurt? Run first. 100% run first. The Jags re-signed Evan Ingram to a non-exclusive... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He receives a non-exclusive franchise tag. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm hoping that the Jags re-sign him because he was fantastic over there on that team. Morgan Cox signs with the Tennessee Titans for a 1-year extension. Sean Murphy Bunting agrees to a 1-year deal with them. wide receiver Westbrook, he re-signs for a 1-year deal as well. And then they have offensive tackle Andre Dillard signs 3 years, $29 million contract. Pretty nice so far. Look at the Tennessee Titans. Now let's look at the AFC West. Man, Denver Broncos, they're taking a dirt nap. But Jared Stidham is going to sit there and be right behind Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson's going to get canned in just a short time. He's going to come in. He just signed a 2-year, $10 million deal. They got Zach Allen that just signed a 3-year, $45.75 million. That is $32.5 million guaranteed. That is huge for Zach Allen, man. But, dude, this Denver Broncos defense is looking better and better and better every year, but their offense needs some help for sure. We're going to look at the Kansas City Chiefs and see what the Chiefs are doing. Jawan Taylor signs a 4-year, $80 million deal. That is a $60 million guarantee to him. So this right here is a big pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. This is huge. All of this is huge. Jimmy Garoppolo signs a 3-year, $72.75 million deal. That includes $24.25 million in just 1 year. Amir Abdullah signs right back with them for a $500,000 guarantee, $1.75 million contract. Josh Jacobs receives a non-franchise, a non-exclusive franchise tag. So he's going to be going around seeing what teams will, give him the most money, and then they're going to try and match it for him. Tight end, O.J. Howard signs with them. Philip Dorsett signs with the Raiders. They got Jacoby Myers signed for a 3-year, $33 million deal. That's $21 million guarantee. Myers will earn $11 million in 1 year and will receive a $5.5 million roster bonus as well, which a guarantee for injury and skill at signing. So, man, dude, this guy is pretty much going to be getting a $5 million base for the 2024 season coming up. Fully guaranteed. $5 million fully guaranteed to him in the 2024 season. Doesn't matter if he's hurt, whatever. Cam Sims signed with the Raiders. Signs with the Raiders. That's a pretty good pickup. That's a pretty good wide receiver pickup. They got three pretty decent receivers. They got Jacoby Myers off. I'm really liking what this Raiders team is doing. I'm really hoping that Josh Jacobs does re-sign with them, man. I think Josh Jacobs is the heart and soul of this roster. I mean, the guy was the rushing leader. He had a lot of touchdowns. He had a huge blowout game. I think he had over 200 yards with three or four, maybe 5 touchdowns in one game, I believe it was. Man, it was just super big, man. It was insane to see that. But I think that this Las Vegas Raiders offense is going to be a very hard reckon to deal with. Derek Carr just wasn't really getting it done, so they got rid of him. Darnold Parham Jr. signs a 2-year deal, $2.65 million. Morgan Fox re-signs for a 2-year deal, $7.25 million. That is a $3.75 million guarantee. They also got Eric Kendricks signed for a 2-year deal worth $13.25 million. Man, it is a crazy to see all these numbers, man. Super crazy to see all the numbers. Dallas is doing some pretty good signings. I'm liking what they're doing. They're adding another wide receiver, Brandon Cooks, for the required trade for the 2023 5th round pick and the 2024 6th round pick. I like where Brandon Cooks is. I felt like that he just needed a better quarterback and he would be an elite receiver. Now that he's going over to Dak, who is a little bit more better than Davis Mills at the moment right now, I feel like that Brandon Cooks can blow up in this scheme. Tony Pollard receives a non-exclusive franchise tag. They signed Ronald Jones to a 1-year. They got Cooper Rush back. They got Stephon Gilmore in a trade for the 2023 5th round conspiracy pick. That's a really good pickup. And they also got Donovan Wilson re-signed to a 3-year deal that is worth $24 million. So I don't know what New York Giants are doing. I think New York needs to get their shit together and sign Saquon Barkley to what he's owed. Saquon Barkley is owed some money Do not give him a non-exclusive franchise tag. Pay him his money. You re-sign Darius Slayton to a 2-year deal, $12 million contract when he hasn't really done much for you. The max value was $16.5 million. He hasn't done anything for you. Then you tell me that Sterling Shepard is worth $1.3 million for a 1-year resigning. Nah, dude, in the bench. Back it up. Not worth it. They required to trade Darren Waller. Does that name sound familiar? Yep. Las Vegas Raiders. Darren Waller acquired in a trade for a 2023 third-round pick. That's the number 100th overall. I really, really like Darren Waller, but he's hurt. He's injury prone. But who knows? This may be different. He may be Jeremy Shockey, how Jeremy Shockey played when he was playing with the Giants. Daniel Jones gets re-signed for a 4-year, $160 million. That's a $35 million incentive guaranteed. Man, these incentives are crazy right now. Mike Barrera re-signs with the Giants. They got Paris Campbell signed for a 1-year, $4.7 million deal. That's a max value of $6.7, but yet you're not going to pay Saquon Barkley? Pay Saquon what he is owed. Jared Davis re-signs with them as well. Marcus Mariota signs a 1-year deal with the Eagles. I think it was $10 million, $5 to $10 million. Rashard Penny gets signed for a 1-year deal, $1.3 million. Boston Scott gets re-signed for a $2 million contract. Jason Kelsey's coming back 1 more year, $4.25 million. That's with $500,000 in incentive. Fletcher Cox signs a 1-year, $10 million deal. Darius Slay signs a 3-year deal for a $42 million deal. That is awesome. James Bradbury signed a 3-year, $38 million that it includes a $20 million max contract of $44 million with incentives. Brandon Graham re-signs for a 1-year deal worth $6 million. Man, that is the heart and soul over there of that team, man. I saw a video the other day of Brandon Graham, that was doing a video for a couple people, and they all came to support him in one of his charities, and they all were just talking so greatly about him, man. Brandon Graham is the face of that franchise over there. Let's go ahead and let's hop into the Washington Commanders. Jacoby Brissett now signs a 1-year, $8 million deal. That includes a $7.5 million deal of a max contract of $10 million. If we go all the way down to the D-line, Darren Payne receives a franchise tag. Payne later signed a 4-year, $90 million. That includes $45 million fully guaranteed. That's a $60 million in guaranteed money. That means a $28 million signing bonus. Whew. That is crazy. Let's go to the NFC North now, guys. Whew. NFC North. NFC North is stirring up some problems, man. Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions. Whew, man. Let's talk about the DJ Moore trade. Who won? I'll give you a second. Who won the DJ Moore trade? Carolina or Chicago? I'll wait. Go ahead, put it in the chat. I'll wait. Chicago Bears won. DJ Moore is a very highly talented wide receiver. He may not seem like it, but tell me who he had throwing to him the past couple of years. I'll wait. Now he has Justin Fields. Justin Fields now has no excuses anymore. No more excuses. No more. I really like this trade. I think Chicago came out on top. I also feel like that they came out on top on signing Robert Tonyan, Nate Davis, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Dante Freeman. I feel like that the Bears are winning. Second place, maybe third. They're in the top 3 right now. I think that Chicago is winning in so many signings. DeMarcus Walker was a big signing too, but Chicago is looking really good. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised. Top 3 for sure. Now let's go over to the Detroit Lions. Man, the Lions are looking beautiful and beautiful. More beautiful every day. More beautiful every day. Let's talk about it. CJ Moore, 2-year deal, $4.5 million, $3 million fully guaranteed. That's our safety. Then you look at our other safety, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Signs a one-year deal, $8 million deal. CJ Gardner-Johnson. 1 year, $8 million. Game over. $6.5 million is guaranteed to him. Emmanuel Mosley, we're there. Cameron Sutton, 3-year, $33 million. That includes a 1.5. Cameron Sutton, 3-year, $33 million. $21.5 million guaranteed. That's huge. That's huge. Let's not talk about David Montgomery, 3-year, $18 million. Isaiah Bugs, re-signed, 2-year, worth $6 million. I mean, CJ Moore. I mean, the Lions are number 1 right now. They are winning the offseason. Are we going to be winning on the field? Probably not, because we always figure out a way how to screw it up. That is what the deal is when you are a Lions fan. You lose everything. You lose your sight. You lose your mind. They could be up 34-3. You think that being up 34-3 in losing is worse? Or isn't as worse? Or wait, would it be, is it as worse? Is it as worse? Is it as worse? Anyways, let me start over. You think 28-3 is as bad as losing 34-3? We always find a way to screw it up, guys. Why? Why? Why do we always figure out a way how to screw it up? Green Bay Packers aren't doing anything. They re-sign Rudy Ford, 1-year deal, $2.5 million. That's all we can talk about. Nick Mullins re-signs a 2-year, $4 million deal. Alexander Madison agrees to a 2 years, $7 million deal. Trying to save some money over there for JJ, but it doesn't look like it. Josh Oliver, 3-year, $21 million. That's a $10.75 million guarantee. That's a max value of $24 million incentives. These incentives are getting crazier and crazier. Byron Murphy signs a 2-year, $22 million deal. Let's hop into the NFC South. The NFC South. Taylor Heineke signs a 2-year, $20 million deal. And then Jesse Bates signs a 4-year, $64.2 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons. I like the signing. I really like the signing. Caleb McGarry re-signs a 3-year, $34.5 million deal. Chris Lindstrom re-signs 5 years, $105 million deal. That's a pretty good signing. It's a really good offensive line. You guys are starting to get a really good offensive line now. Mike Hughes signs a 1-year deal with you guys. That's awesome. That's a great signing. Let's talk about Carolina. Carolina is signing a couple good guys. Adam Thielen signed a 3-year, $25 million deal. Miles Sanders signs a 4-year, $25.4 million deal. Andy Dalton's still in the league. Don't know how he's still in the league, but 2 years, $11 million. That guy's always injury prone. Every time that he comes in to step in, he always gets hurt. He got hurt at Dallas. He got hurt at the Saints. He got hurt for Chicago. Man, it's kind of a pattern, guys. $11 million. Let me give you 2 years for $8.5 million. Let's do that. Let's just sign that off right there, and I'll be happy. Hayden Hurst signs a 3-year, $21.75 million. Don't know what they're thinking that Hayden Hurst is going to do for them, but I would have signed Hayden Hurst for a 3-year deal for a $13.5 million. I wouldn't be doing the 21.75, but that's why I'm on this side of the table and not on the TV, right? Deshaun Williams signs a contract with them. Not really sure what the contract's going to be, man, but Deshaun Williams signing is a really good one. Von Bell is a good signing as well for them. Shai Tootle signs a 3-year deal, $19.5 million. As a D lineman, that's $35 million guaranteed. Derek Carr signs a 4-year deal with the Saints, $150 million. That's $60 million fully guaranteed at signing, with another $10 million guaranteed in the 3 years, vesting after 1 year. Carr's deal, which also features a no-trade clause, has $100 million in total guarantee. What? What? Jameis Winston resigns, 1-year deal, $4 million. Oh, I'm legally blind. Max value at $8 million? What? You re-signed Jameis Winston? You would have been better off re-signing Andy Dalton. You give Jameis Winston $4 million, $8 million max value guarantee. This one broke my heart. It really did, guys. This one broke my heart. This hurts. Jamal Williams signs 3-year, $12 million deal. That includes $8.15 million guarantee. Lions, you are stupid. 15 touchdowns. Breaks Barry Sanders' record. He had the most touchdowns last year than any other running back. 15 touchdowns. You let him go. You signed David Montgomery, injury-prone Montgomery. Michael Thompson signs a 1-year, $10 million max contract value at $15 million. That's a pretty good one. Thomas had 2 non-void years left on his previous contract. It's a really good signing. I really like that. Hopefully he gets to retire with them. We haven't seen him in a couple of years playing, so I don't really know why they're still signing Michael Thomas. I don't see the point of it, but that's okay. This one's a pretty good laugh factor, guys. Baker Mayfield signs a 1-year deal for $8.5 million with a $4 million guarantee. So what you're telling me right now is that you do not think that Baker Mayfield is going to be your running starting quarterback. Levante Davis re-signs 1 year, $7 million. Jamal Dean signs a 4-year deal. We don't know how much that is just yet. Chase Edmonds signs a 1-year deal. 1-year deal worth $8.5 million for Baker Mayfield for a starting quarterback. For what? Do you guys not think that he's worth being your starter? I don't know. That's just weird to me. We're going to go down to the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals Zach Pasquale agreed to a 2-year deal. That's all it says. Doesn't tell me anything. They don't really have any big signings right now that we're, all like, ooh, wow, about. They did sign Matt Prater 2 years, $7.5 million, which he's one of the greatest kickers in the league right now, which is awesome. The Los Angeles Rams haven't been making any moves besides signing Coleman Shelton. That's the only one that they got. They required Hunter Long in a trade from Miami for the Jalen Ramsey trade. But I don't know what the Rams are doing right now. You guys don't have a quarterback. You guys don't really have another corner. You don't really have a defense anymore. And you guys are just sitting back relaxing like you guys are trying to tank the season. It makes no sense to me why the Rams go from a Super Bowl champs to this. It's actually pretty sad to watch. Let's head on down to San Francisco. San Francisco, Javon Hargrave signs a 4-year, $84 million deal. Javon Hargrave signs a 4-year, $84 million deal. That includes $40 million guaranteed to him. Awesome. That's a really good pickup, actually. I really like that signing. That's a beautiful signing. Sam Darnold. Yep. So, yeah. Sam Darnold signs a 1-year deal, $4.5 million included with $3.5 million guarantee. His max value with his new contract is worth $11.5 million with incentives. I mean, Sam Darnold probably should have stayed or went to... I think Sam Darnold is way better than Baker Mayfield. I'm not understanding why the Bucs didn't sign Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. That makes no sense at all. I'm actually kind of confused on this. Why would you take Baker Mayfield and not Sam Darnold? That makes no sense. Makes no sense. But hey, again, that's why I'm on this side of the table and not on the TV, right? Isaiah Oliver, he re-signs with them. Pretty good signing. Now, let's end it with our last team, the Seahawks. They're a little messed up at the moment. They signed Geno Smith to a 3-year, $75 million deal with a max value of $105. Love that. Love that. Geno Smith, 3 years, $75 million with a max contract of $105. That's a beautiful signing. Good job to the Seahawks on that one. But this Drew Lock, 1 year, $4 million contract? Why don't you guys put his ass somewhere? Like, trade him or something. Figure it out for him. Draymond Jones has a 3-year deal, $51.53 million, that will pay him $35 million over 2 years. That includes a $23.5 million in 1 year. That Draymond Jones has a 3-year, $51.3 million contract, and that will pay him $35 million over the course of 2 years, including $23 million in year one. It's a pretty good signing. I'm actually really liking what the Seahawks are doing at the moment. It's not because, Carson is a Seahawks fan or anything like that. Actually, screw the Seahawks at this moment. Just kidding, guys. I'm very, 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 very excited to see what goes on here in football. I mean, Odell Beckham's still out there. Aaron Rodgers has no idea what he's doing just yet. Trying to see, who is going to do what, who is going to be where, what is going to be probably one of the biggest year yet. This is a lot of signings, guys. There's a lot of teams out there that have finished last in their division that I don't see finishing last in their division anymore. I don't see the Lions finishing last. I don't see the Seahawks finishing last. You can probably say the Texans, yes, but I don't see Atlanta finishing last, and I also do not see the Saints finishing last. I feel like the Bucs are going to finish last just because of the Baker Mayfield signing. I don't think Baker is all that great. I mean, 153 yards his first opening day for the Los Angeles Rams with 2 touchdowns, and you won the game by a miraculous field goal. I just don't see it. I just don't see Baker Mayfield just being that guy anymore. Jason Kelce signing by the Eagles. I really like that. Jason Kelce is an awesome guy, man. I love watching him and his brother's podcast, Jason and Travis Kelce's podcast. I really like watching it, man. I really, really, really do. But all right, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, I believe at 8. Well, let's do next Tuesday at 8 p.m. I work that day, so we'll do next Tuesday 8 p.m. See you guys there. Hopefully everyone comes in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. See you guys all later. Have a good one.